Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing? How are y'all doing? Let's talk about Faith crying wolf once again. This is part of the Ethel Ralph versus Matthew Vickers saga for custody of Alexander. You see, of course you know, Alexander, the hellspawn, the demon baby, is in custody of Faith. She is living with her parents, Matthew Vickers. And Ethan Ralph seems hell-bent on getting access to the child. Why? What does a raging alcoholic, a raging pill-popping alcoholic want to do with a baby that it can't even care? This person can't even take care of himself. He doesn't even have a job, is not employable at all. What does he want to do with it? To be a failure of a father like his father? Maybe. But that's not the discussion here. That's not the topic here. The topic is Faith crying wolf once again. If you followed the story, you know that Faith cried wolf about being abused and neglected as a child. Rubbish, garbage, nonsense. There's no way she was. And if she was in the state of California, where if her parents slapped her, they would be, well, I guess arrested. Bad things would happen. So if they did that, something would have been changed. That didn't happen. What Faith considers abuse is being told no, being told she can't do things when her mom and dad try to tell her or enforce consequences for her behavior. She has a problem with it. You can't tell Faith what to do. And I say this with full confidence because Faith is a story writer. She is a liar. She just lies left and right. She could be a story writer. She could be a novelist. Maybe write a fantasy novel of some sort with wizards and all that. The reason why I say that is because on the spot, on the fly, she generates elaborate stories of being, well, you've read them before, I'm sure. Where on the way to school, she was rode by just about every other guy on the bus. What? Makes no sense. Faith wanted you to believe that not only was she abused by her parents, but that on the way to school, she was abused sexually by a student. And the bus didn't stop. The bus driver didn't do anything. No one said anything. The school did nothing. We're talking about elaborate stories that just make no sense. That's what Faith generates with her lips, with her mouth. Because from my assessment, and I mean this professionally, though I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I do work with families and I do work with kids that have these sort of issues sometimes. And I will say, from my perspective, it looks like Faith could be borderline personality disorder, or bipolar. But she swings so far. It looks like she changes all the time. You could say, though, she is a manipulator. She creates stories to manipulate. And that's what she's doing now with her elaborate lies that she's feeding to Mr. Drunken Retard, Ethan Ralph. The pathetic father. I don't understand why he wants to be a dad. He can't even pay his own bills with his failing show. Okay. How's he going to be able to afford diapers, formula, clothes? He's not. Faith is trying to tell Ethan Ralph that her parents are abusing her once again. How? She doesn't say. Does she realize she's an adult? And that if they were hitting her, she would have a case on her hands of assault, of battery. But no, that's not happening. What she considers abusive is being told she can't talk to Ethan Ralph and having very limited access to devices that would grant her, access to the internet. Her parents are trying to control her, trying to limit her access to the internet, limit her access to Ethan Ralph. Something that they should have done from the beginning. I know they would agree with me on that. The one takeaway you should have as a parent from all of this is do not let your son or daughter be in their room alone on Discord or any other social media. Do not do that. Do not ever do that. But now they're making up for their sins. They're now trying to take control of Faith. Telling her, no, you can't get on the internet. You can't get on Discord. We're not going to let you talk to Ethan Ralph. Good. And they're right to do so. But Faith doesn't like being told no. She doesn't like being told what to do, what she can't do. That's what she considers to be abusive. She is a spoiled brat. A spoiled, entitled brat. If she was in Texas, maybe she could have used a few reality checks, so to speak. Things you can't do in California. A little spanking here and there. Now, what's going to happen though? You see, Faith is convinced that at least the story she's generating is that her mom has threatened to just go into the room, take Alexander, and place Alexander on adoption, up for adoption. Is that going to happen? Is that the future for the baby? Let me wrap this up by asking you guys and ladies what you would do in this situation. If your daughter got knocked up by a raging alcoholic, a female cop-punching raging alcoholic, what would you do? Would you make sure the baby is carried to term? Or would you find a way to terminate the baby? Would you take a baseball bat and hit your daughter right in the gut, hoping that it just smashes the demon baby's head? Or would you take it to Planned Parenthood and have it zapped? Maybe you take it you let it be carried to term. What then? Do you care for the baby? Or do you place it for adoption? What do you do? I'm going to wrap this up here. This saga is still going on. I'm surprised. But then again, I shouldn't be. Ethan Ralph has been a very public person about his drama. And it's not surprising that it's, once again, very public about his drama. I guess another thing to take away from all this is, in varying degrees, all of our lives are kind of a dumpster sometimes. It's not a good idea to put your personal business out there for everyone to see. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll take it easy.